everyone. This is Alex bringing you a new episode of Gravity Blues, the podcast where myself and my co host Ryan explore our Earth and space related concerns and interests. So last episode, we had a pretty hefty conversation with our good friend Alex on films and the Oscars and the nominations, which we on our social media we kind of went into who had the best picks, and it ended up being Alex. So
Yeah.
that was cool for him to see him win.
Unsurprising. The
Yeah,
guy that does film for a living got the most right.
yeah, yeah. There was like one pick. I can't remember which movie it was, and I hadn't even heard of it before. And I think he guessed it for best picture,
Mm,
um, and he got it. I'm like, I have never even heard of this movie. So yeah, no surprise there that he won. So congrats to him and his imaginary trophy that he won. But yes, so we weren't really able to talk too much about Ohio State's natty. So we're going to go a little bit more into detail on that today. And they had the parade. Was it a parade or was it just in
I
the
think it was just
shoe?
the shoe, but
Okay, so yeah, they had that this past weekend. Jack Sawyer joking about returning another year, even though he's not able. I don't think he's eligible to do that. So that was
yeah,
kind of funny. Um, but yeah, I think I seen Ryan Day's been doing a little press tour. I think he was on the Tonight
it
Show.
was a Fallon.
Um, yeah, I think so. Yeah, he brought the trophy with him. So
Nice.
yeah, looks like he's been enjoying it. But we now we're in the mode kind of we're still celebrating it, but thinking about next year, we our first game's
Oh,
against Texas, I think.
that's pretty
Like
awesome. I would
that's
love that.
crazy.
Uh, I do think you gotta mention too. Jim Knowles left.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by
Penn Penn
that.
State, right?
Yeah, I did see that the Ohio State offer, there wasn't a number, but I think he was offered like 3 million from Penn State, and there was a report that the offer was much lower
So
from
yeah,
Ohio State. So 3 million, I'm pretty sure it sounds kind of crazy for a defensive coordinator, but
now
for someone who just won a natty,
yeah,
I guess I get it.
it is.
So,
It's wild
but
too. Like you don't see a lot of time this top level. You might move coordinator position to coordinator position from like a small school to a bigger school, but like at the top level, you don't often see somebody do like a lateral move, like stay as a coordinator. Because like if he'd gone and been the head coach there, okay, you know what I mean. But
right.
I'm like, but
Yeah, I don't I just yeah, like you said, it's a lateral move. Maybe he's just, he won the natty and that was his goal when he, came up to Ohio State from I can't remember which school it was, but he made that move, and at the time that was a pretty big leap for him, to make. And prior to this year, there were some issues in big games about our defense and kind of like clamping up. But he delivered this year after that first Oregon game. The defense completely changed, and so I'm still thankful for what he did for this team. And at first when I saw that like he didn't come to the parade, and I was like, what do you do? Like that's like this dude sucks, But I saw that I think Ryan Day asked him, or Ohio State asked him not to come to the festivities
yeah,
because he was in negotiations with Ohio State and other teams. So that I guess that water in the bridge there. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have preferred if it was like a month after or something. Let
yeah.
it simmer. But I guess teams gotta make those decisions.
Well,
Now
and
as soon as
also we
possible.
were talking about how it's weird for him to make that lateral move, but then at the same time, our offensive coordinator was a head coach at like a big school, and then he came there.
Right.
So
He did a 180 on that. So,
yeah,
yeah, I'm curious. I think Chip Kelly, I don't see him moving, which honestly, um, I think that's a bigger win for us if he can stay compared to Jim Knowles staying, just because the
yeah.
offense did look very dynamic this year in both the run and pass. So, and he was absolutely
I had seen
cooking
stuff
after that Michigan game.
that he was being looked at to go to the Jags as being an OC.
Oh, yeah,
So
before the Bucks hired him, or before the Bucks hired that, or not the Bucks, before the Jags hired the Bucks offensive coordinator.
Well, he's gonna be their head coach.
Yeah. Oh, were they looking at him for like
I
a
think
offensive
I think
coordinator
they're looking at him
position?
for OC. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
so I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Another shot in the NFL.
I'm sure that he would rather
So
do that than anything else. But
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I guess yeah, I'm curious what his if he wants to, do another offensive coordinator role or if he's looking at like a another head coaching, kind of,
yeah.
step up. Or maybe he's just trying to
Well,
chill
no,
the
I
rest of his
that's what I'm
career.
saying. Like, if you make that jump from head coach to be Ohio State's offensive coordinator, I don't think you get to go and be the head coach in the NFL from that
Yeah,
position.
oh, yeah,
You know,
right. No, I agree.
so I think
Yeah.
he's
I
looking
was
at
curious if he's gonna do another, like, college, head
well,
coaching. I don't know if there were any spots open there, but,
yeah. The only I
um,
that's what I think the only reason you would do that is if you go, it's a signal saying I'm okay being an OC somewhere. Like
yeah,
this is what I'm good at. And then everyone goes,
yeah,
okay, so that let's put him there instead of making him the head guy.
yeah,
But
yeah. But, I guess it's all we can do as fans is, wait and see what happens, and, we also learn, a bunch of guys are declaring for the draft now,
yep.
all the expected I think Judkins, I think, was one where people were like he still had another year of eligibility, I think, but I think it was
Why
pretty
not?
clear that he was gonna,
Running backs
go to the
usually go
draft
when
now.
they want to, right? They go
Yeah,
season.
yeah, that wasn't I wasn't too surprised by that, but, we still have Jeremiah Smith for another 2 years if no one else, poaches him from us. I guess we'll see
Yeah, who
about
knows?
that, but yeah, and then, yeah, we still have some returning players, so I'm not too worried about next year. I think the number one concern, though, is just our new QB, which is probably gonna be Julian Sayin. What is he gonna turn out to be? He's gonna be turn out I keep seeing all this hype about him, but, you don't know until he actually makes that those first few starts where he's gonna,
Yeah, I think he's the
gonna go.
one. He's been there. He's been here for a year, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he was, I don't know what string he was this year.
yeah. I
I don't
just
know if he was
I had
3rd
a
or
weird
2nd.
interaction at the grocery store, like the start of this last school year, right? I guess, even though I was in school, but I was wearing my Ohio State sweatshirt at the grocery store,
Mhm,
and this like real like tall dude comes up to me, and I was, "What's up?" And,
mhm.
he's like, "Oh, you go to O State?" And
Oh, State.
I was like, "Ah, I graduated, but yeah."
Mhm,
And he's like, "What do you think about the quarterback situation?" And I was like, "I don't know." It's like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I haven't been following, because that's
mhm,
like I just trying to do my grocery shopping, and then I was like, that's so weird, like to have that interaction. And then I looked it up. I'm pretty sure I don't remember who it was, but I was like, that was that guy. And I was like,
mm.
one of the quarterbacks we had at the time who wasn't going to be the starter. But
No, I don't think I've heard anyone ever call it O State.
well,
Is that what he
that's what I'm
said?
saying. Like, it definitely wasn't like a local guy, somebody that had just gotten to here,
Yeah,
right into Columbus.
O State. That's funny. I'm gonna start calling it O State.
Yeah, O State.
Well, I go to O State, like OH State. O State.
One thing that really bothers me too while we're talking about this, how they call like Florida the U? Because they're like
Yeah,
they're like a U.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, that's fine, but Ohio State is the U. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, right,
Like,
right.
we got to
Or
own
how
that.
Mhm. Or like how Oklahoma State, they say they're OSU. They're not OSU. Ohio State's OSU.
Well, yeah, and
Like,
there's also Oregon, right?
come on.
Oregon State,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it as much from them, I don't see it as much from maybe just because 'cause they're not as,
close by. But
yeah,
I had a
right, yeah.
buddy who like wasn't from the Midwest, and we were like texting before we went to college, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to OSU." I was like, "Oh, I'm going to OSU," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Do you mean Oregon?" I was like, "Ah."
No one says that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just my Ohio bias
yeah, a little
shining
bit
through.
there. But
Uh,
anyway, champions forever,
yes, forever.
and
We're gonna talk about it every single pod,
every single time.
until the beginning of next season, so
I do want to talk about another big Ohio
Mhm.
event, though.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes.
I sent you some things about this. Skyline, which is a Cincinnati staple, okay, has teamed up with Graders, which I think is also Cincinnati based or like Ohio
That
based somewhere.
area. Yeah, yeah, like either
Um,
central or southern Ohio.
and they've teamed up to make a Skyline Chili Ice Cream. And I want to just say before I say anything else, I tried so hard to find it at the grocery store today because I was like, I'm gonna get some and try it on the podcast, you
Yes.
know, but I couldn't
I
find it.
wonder if they only sell it in, like, in the graders, like, if
So
it's not, because I know the grate like, they sell, like, yeah, the little cups or pints of graders in stores, but, yeah, maybe it's one of those specialty flavors where they're not
yeah,
gonna,
well,
produce it.
I looked it up. They have it at Skyline and at Graders, and they
Oh,
supposedly have it at Kroger, which is also Cincinnati based, which is fun. But so I went to Kroger, and they were like, we don't have it. It's like okay, and then I went to a Graders, and it was sold out. So,
wow.
and they were selling in like the big containers, and I was like, ah, it's too much. And you can order it like on the website, and it doesn't
Mhm.
say when it would arrive, but you'd have to buy six of them, 6 pints, and it was like $80. And I was like, ah, I'm like, I
See,
don't
I
want to have,
think that would be like a cool, like it'd be a cool novelty.
yeah,
Like just like you like finish out the ice cream and you just have the like little thing just sitting on your shelf. Like it's such a random collab because growing up in like Northeast Ohio, there were some Skyline chilies, not a ton. And by the time I was kind of come down to Columbus for school, there were like the few in my area were getting like shut down, and I was
mm,
so sad because that was like I love Skyline. I don't eat it a ton, but when I do, I love it. I can't get enough of it. So yeah, I'm still kind of in that area right now. So there's pretty much no Skylines, and I don't think there's any graders up here. So I'm kind of SOL on the Skyline unless I make my way down to Columbus
yeah.
for a scoop.
I haven't had it in a long time, but I always enjoy it because it's a Cincinnati thing. And I went, my first year out of state, somebody took me over there and was like, "You got to wear the bib. It's your first time," and you put a bib on. Actually, crazy story. Okay, I worked
Hmm.
at a Jimmy John's in high school for a little bit, and
Okay.
next door to the Jimmy John's was a Skyline. And sometimes, we would trade food, and I didn't have any because like I was like I like my Jimmy John's sandwiches. But anyway, some of
Hmm.
my other coworkers, you know what I'm talking about? The fast food places trade.
Yes. Yeah. You like. I've even worked at places that do that.
Yeah,
Like I worked at Buckeye Donuts on campus, and there were times we'd trade with yeah, some of the restaurants
yeah.
in the
Like
campus
they
area.
come
So.
over, they bring you stuff, you give them donuts, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's very chill. Anyway, at some point while I was working there, the workers at the Skyline like went on strike,
What?
and they're like the whole staff was like, we're not going to come in this week. They put a paper on the door that said the staff of this Skyline are striking. We
That's
will not
wild.
we will not return without pay raises, like that kind of thing. And we were like, whoa, that is nuts, like next door. So that went
Yeah.
on. The Skyline did close like within that year, and then it
Wow.
was replaced by a Gold Star chili place, which I think is hilarious. It's
Oh,
staying as a
that's
chili.
crazy.
Yeah.
I've never had Gold Star before. That was actually one thing I was gonna ask you because, I wasn't sure outside of Ohio, like how, like the skyline, population, if it was, I guess like in Kentucky, that kind of makes sense, just
Stuff.
bordering kind of the Cincinnati area. So, but I'm curious if there's any other skylines in other states. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's like only really a Midwest
yeah.
kind of thing.
I'm really doubting that the other cities are also getting the chili ice cream that we have.
No.
Which I will report back. I'm gonna find it somewhere, and maybe I'll take a video of me trying it, like one of the little scoops or
Yes,
something,
give
because
give you gotta give
a little,
a good
yeah,
review, out of five-star review, you know?
yeah. I'm so interested because like I love when fast food places do just bizarre things and go, we're going to make this, and it sounds just disgusting. Um, but that said, like I've had graders a number of times, and I'm not like the biggest ice cream guy ever, but I'm like, Okay,
Yeah, it's
graders
good.
has never done me wrong. You know what I mean?
Nope.
So like, I kind of trust graders to have figured out a way to do
I
it.
just it's just such a weird flavor for, like, something like that, that it's hard for me to imagine how it's even gonna taste, you know?
Well,
But but like you said, I do have some faith in graders. They usually they've got some good ice cream,
I
so
think
maybe
if you
they
lean
cooked something
into
up crazy.
like the cinnamon and less sweet, or well,
Yeah.
chili can be sweet though, you know. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. Like, and every time I make chili and I put it in the fridge and I get it out again, um, before it gets heated up, I'll have a little cold bite.
Yeah.
The cold bite's
Yeah. Yeah, that
crucial.
doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
It's
Doesn't
not
hurt.
bad cold.
No, no, and you were even saying too that the ice cream is gonna have, because you can't eat your
Yes.
Skyline chili without oyster crackers, you gotta
Yeah.
throw the oyster crackers in there and, it's gonna soak in all the chili, that the remnants of your chili. So but you said that they're actually putting some, like,
Yeah.
oyster
You know,
shells in the
like
ice
you can
cream
get
too?
chocolate chips in the ice cream. Apparently, the oyster shells are in the ice cream, which, if that is true, like that is bold. Because
That is very bold.
how does that work? But but I don't know.
I
I
guess
guess.
you'll have to be my taste buds on this, unless I can get down there in time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I might have to
I
make a
hope
day
this.
trip. Day trip to the Graders,
It's got to be
in
so
Columbus.
popular that it just doesn't go away. They just
Yeah,
got to be a permanent fixture.
right.
But
Like, but you know how some of those places go. It's like even the best things they'll only bring back for a limited time,
yeah,
just because they're demons and don't want to let us enjoy
yeah.
our
The
favorite
the
foods.
Taco Bell Tres Lupe will always be back
Yes,
for me. But anyway,
right.
but we no need to explain that. Let's jump
No.
forward. Um,
Yes, yes, sir.
let's talk a little bit about uh, music in our
Hmm.
topic here, which is, why are things in the future so heavy?
Right. Yes. Good question, Doc. Um, so one of the large, rock festivals in America actually, happens in Columbus. It's called Sonic Temple. It used to be Rock on the Range, like when it first started, but they kind of changed the name over some time. And I've been there. I think I've been there five. I've gone there 5 years. So yeah, I definitely have some good
It's at the
experience with
Crew
it. And
Stadium, right?
yeah, it's at the old Crew Stadium.
Are they gonna
So
stay at the old one, or are they gonna go to the new one?
yeah, yeah, I think they're still at the yep, yeah, they're still at the historic Crew
Historic,
Stadium,
nice.
and it used to only be 3 days, but a lot of these festivals now are actually upgrading to 4 days, so you get, like,
Yeah,
4 headliners, and they have a ton of I think they have, like, over 100 bands or around there, so there's tons of stuff to see,
that's awesome.
but they just, I already knew the lineup before they made this post, and the one day I was hoping to get tickets for, I'm still thinking about it, but on Friday, they've declared that it's the heaviest day in America, which I actually will agree with them. So
Okay.
for this festival, um, they actually have the headliners are Metallica, and they're actually Metallica's doing 2 days, so they're doing Friday, and then they're doing Sunday, and they do, like, a different set each day. And then I think the Thursday, which is the first day, is, Korn, and then, Saturday is Linkin Park with their new singer. And I'll be honest, I'm not really too interested in the Thursday or the Saturday. Honestly, the Friday and Sunday, both the days with Metallica, in my opinion, have the best lineups. And like I said, Friday they declared the heaviest day in America. And I guess I'll give you some of the bands here. So like I said, Metallica, Mastodon, which
Mm,
I kind of got you on the
yep.
Mastodon. Um, Acid Bath, who is making their like I think it's been like 20 years since they've performed together, or around 20 years, maybe more. They're a very heavy band. Cannibal Corpse, that's like probably the most
Yeah.
famous death metal band ever. Um, Suicidal Tendencies, that's just like
Yeah.
uh, punk. Yeah, Thundercat was actually in Suicidal Tendencies for
Oh,
like a few years, I think. Yeah,
that's crazy. Because
yeah,
don't they
like
have
like
the song about the Pepsi? Like, Just get me a Pepsi. I think is
I I don't know. I know, like, the first song I ever heard was in, like, Guitar Hero's, "Institutionalized." And it's
yeah,
just,
that's
like,
what I'm talking about.
crazy.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, it might be that song, yeah, it
He's
might
like,
be that song
I
then.
just want a Pepsi. Mom, get out of here. I just want a Pepsi.
It's just it's so, like, angsty, but it's they got good stuff, but some of the lower bands are just, like, so heavy. They have Hatebreed, which is, like some of these bands I've never seen before too, and I know, like, just the vibe and, like, the pits are gonna be crazy. Hatebreed, Exodus, Whitechapel, Converge, who's they're one of my favorite, kinda metalcore bands. They're very heavy. The Acacia Strain, Gate Creeper, 200 Stab Wounds, who I've seen before. They're from Cleveland, and Peeling Flesh, which is probably they're like a slam metal band. Yeah, they're probably they might be the heaviest on there. So, but
Wow.
I will agree that it is a very cool day. The only thing though is I might have to do like a work trip or something. So I'm
No.
not sure. Yeah, it's still up in the air when the dates are for the trip. So I'm like, I want to at least go to this day and then maybe the Sunday too. But and I've never seen Metallica before as well. I got that's like one band I got to see, before they call it quits.
Yeah. What are the tickets running right now? I'm
So,
interested, but
well,
I'm
they're
always
they're
looking
all,
at
like
prices.
I think they're all, like, resale tickets right
Mm,
now,
yeah.
so it's, like, they're gonna be well, honestly, so I've bought tickets to this festival before, both
Mm,
resale and, like, when they first come out through Sonic Temple, and I've actually gotten them cheaper, through resale, surprisingly,
nice.
so, but it's nice because you don't have to buy all 4 days, like, some people, like, they sell, like Friday. You can do like a Friday and Sunday package. So I don't know if any of those are going to be left over, but I don't know. I'll see if it's cheaper just to get just all 4 days. Maybe I'll just say screw it and go see like there's some bands in the other days I'd like to see, but not to justify spending like a lot more money to
Yeah.
go do. So,
And
but
you can tell the audience, I'm pretty sure you suffered some damage in one of these.
yes, I did. It was at Sonic Temple. I saw Knocked Loose and I sprained my foot, and I think it was the second day. So it was kind of rough
Right.
sledding. But I
Because
still
you
I
went,
still managed to go
yeah,
every day.
you went to the ultimate too.
Yeah, oh, dude, that was hard, but and it's like you're standing there and like they have seats in the like because they have like different stages and they have like the main stage they have seats that you can go to but everywhere else it's pretty much like you're either standing or you're sitting on the grass somewhere. So
Yeah.
and there's usually not a lot of space to do that even. So yeah, I was like the whole week after after the show, I just did nothing. I just like let my foot heal, and it
Yeah.
was okay after that. But I might have to start wearing my ankle brace to these shows because I almost did the same thing at Incarceration Festival this past year. Um, during an Acacia Strain set
Mhm.
who's gonna be at this heaviest day in America, and, yeah, unfortunately, they just released that lineup too, and I'll be honest, it is not looking very good, at least for the headliners, it's
Yeah.
not not very interested, but I guess it's a good thing though, because I was like, "Oh, do I put my money into Incarceration, Festival, or do I put my money in the Sonic Temple? Because it's I don't really wanna get, like, both, that's a lot of money to be spending on music festivals, but
And
so
if
it
you go,
kinda it made my choice a little bit easier,
yeah,
so
if you go to incarceration, you got to get tattoos too. So,
I do, I didn't get one, I didn't get one this past year, but, I was thinking about doing it if I went this year, so, and that's even more money to, throw on, it's hundreds of dollars extra, um, so and you gotta, kinda sign up beforehand and, like, get, like, a slot with a tattoo artist because the line there is ridiculous,
yeah.
and, you could miss your favorite band if you don't, like, plan around it correctly, so, yeah. But, yeah, it bummed me out a little bit seeing that, but it made my choice easier, so.
Yeah. Well, that's good. At least you can decide if, as long as that work trip doesn't get in the way, you can lock in.
Yeah, I'm really, like I'm like, I hope I know soon so I can, like,
Yeah.
scout some tickets out if I can, but, if not, I guess, save me even more money, but, I like to go to one, like, festival every year, at least one festival,
Yeah,
um, just to, just to keep doing it, but I still have some concerts coming up I'm going to, so I guess those could keep me preoccupied
yeah.
if I can't go this year.
I need to do some more research. Everything that I went to last year, the lineup sucked this year, so I need to. That I mean, that sounds like a sweet show. I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I'm ready for the heaviest day in America,
Yes,
but
yeah.
but
Yeah, we'll have to see that. I feel like that would be a fun thing too, like, we could do a
yes,
post festival talk, and
if
honestly, like, now I don't I kinda like, there's some bands where I'm like, "I gotta get in the pit," and,
yeah
do some damage, but a lot of the times, I don't know, I just feel old, and I'm just like, I just wanna, like, kinda sit back and, maybe there's one song I'll go in and do that for. I feel like that's more enjoyable because when you're in the pit the whole show, you're not even really, like, I don't even know if I'm, like, even paying attention to the music, I'm paying attention to, like, the rhythms, but the actual songs, I'm like, "What song did they just play?" 'Cause
yeah. You're
it's
just
just
trying to survive.
chaos, and yeah, I gotta get some contacts too because when I have my glasses and I,
Mm,
like, put them in my pocket, there's, like, a 50% chance they're gonna break, so,
damn.
uh, yeah, so I gotta get that situation down too.
You get the goggles.
Yeah, like, I'm like Horace Grant, you got the that would
Yeah,
be so I've never that would be so funny. You just pull out goggles and like, I'm getting busy right now,
yeah, that'd be sweet.
'Cause I've been at shows where, like, someone will stage dive, and I'll have my glasses on, and my glasses get knocked off
Oh
my
my
face,
gosh.
and I'm like I pull out my phone and my flashlight, I'm like, "I can't I gotta get my glasses or I'm not gonna be able to drive home."
Sheesh.
It's that bad where, if my glasses are gone, I'm kinda
Yeah,
screwed,
because
so
that is a commitment to go and like if you get into the heavy crowds like that. I got a buddy way back, but he like went to and he got like trampled and there like his shirt had like footprints and boot prints all on it all over the place. And he like was like, I'm never washing this. This is my badge. And I was like,
Yeah, that's your
what the
match.
hell? What? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
those shows are fun, it's just yeah, you gotta know your limits, and
Yeah.
you gotta one thing is, like, you gotta stay hydrated because usually that's in the middle of the summer, and
Oh,
there's so many people that pass
yeah.
out, and you don't
Any
wanna go to the
show in
medical
the
tent.
summer, like almost every concert I've been to or festival, there's somebody, oh, that person passed out, and
Yeah,
it's like, oh, it's every time.
yeah, luckily, that's, like I haven't seen anything, like, worse happen, which is good, but,
Yeah.
you never know. I'm sure it still happens, you just don't notice it.
Yep. But yeah, that sounds like a great time. We will
Yeah,
have to come back to it, keep talking about it. Same with those other
right.
shows. If you go to a cool show, I mean, let's.
Yeah, yeah, I got a few coming. I got Kendrick Lamar in June, and then I'm seeing AC/DC with my parents, and, they're playing at the, Huntington Bank Stadium, whatever the new
Yeah,
name of the Brown Stadium is, in, in May, so that should be a cool
that'd be
little
sweet.
2-month span of concerts.
You're getting to see Kendrick on his Super Bowl year.
Yes, yeah, I'm very excited for that Super
We
Bowl concert.
when we can do the whole Super Bowl pregame stuff next week, I think,
Yes,
next
sir.
year, 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
But
Break
so
it down.
don't worry, we'll get into it.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm. Yeah, we're gonna cover it.
I was a little worried we were gonna get Eagles Bills, which I've said are my least two favorite teams. I was like,
Yeah.
why are we doing this? But thank God. I know a lot of people hate the Chiefs, but honestly, I'm so much rather see
E
them than the Bills.
Eagles can get their payback on the Chiefs.
Oh, I hope not.
No, no. I don't know, I love Saquon, so I'm just like,
Oh,
I just want him to win Super Bowl MVP and,
I don't know. I
the
kind of like the
Chiefs.
idea of living through a three-peat. That's never happened before.
Yeah, I'll say that's probably the most likely thing to happen,
Yeah, but
I
how
would
cool is that? Like, never happened before. I get it. Nobody wants to see that. But then, like, 10 years from now, you're telling people, "Well, yeah, I remember the three-peat." And the young kids are like, "What? There's a three-peat?" You
Well,
know?
they're the first team I think to even have the opportunity to. No
Yeah.
other team has ever, won back to back and then made the Super Bowl again for a third. So even
Okay.
being able to go to the Super Bowl again is a crazy accomplishment.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'd say they're most likely gonna win. Just they're just they just look unstoppable in the playoffs. I don't know. Like the Bills keep trying and they keep failing.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
anyway. Let's move on. Let's
Yes, sir.
jump. Let's play a game. Are you in for a game?
I'm ready. I've been waiting
Okay.
for this game.
All right.
I've been
This
waiting.
is a game where I'm going to play uh sounds from a movie. Okay, the sounds from a
Okay.
scene, and they all vary in length. There's one that's 34 seconds because I wanted to give you a little more. One of them
Okay.
is only 9, right? So it's and there's 5. Okay, so I'm just gonna
Okay, 5.
play you like 10-ish seconds of sound, and you have to tell me what movie
Okay.
it's from. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
All right, here we go. Guess the sound.
Oh, Star Wars?
It's Star Wars. Which Star Wars?
Ooh. Play it again.
Yep.
That sounds like General Grievous, so I'm gonna say Attack of the Clones.
Oh, so close. It
Or
is.
was it the third
It's the
one?
third one.
Episode 3?
Yeah, that's the scene right before Obi-Wan kills him.
Oh
It's like
my
and you
goodness.
can hear the like as his arms come open, and I was like, oh,
Right.
sick sound right there.
Well, I was close.
And
I have to get back in the lab. I gotta rewatch all those Star Wars
I just
movies now.
rewatched
I'm
that
disappointed.
the other night. So that's what made me think of
Mhm.
doing this, and I was like, oh, that's like 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 sound feast where he coughs, and then his arms open up, and then all four of us like you're like, I know which character this is, you know.
Right. I
Um,
love the General Grievous, just story
oh
and
my
just
god.
his whole vibe.
General Kenobi. How do you get that? I
Yeah.
met the voice
I
actor
don't know.
actually at like when I went to a Comic Con in middle school, and
Really?
he had a booth, and there was a huge line. You could go up and talk to him. He had a normal voice, and
Mhm.
then there was a sign that said, "Want me to record your voicemail?
That's so cool.
Guess how much it cost?"
$200?
Yeah,
$200?
I think it was like 250 or something like
Yeah,
insane.
that's
But it's
ridiculous.
like okay, I mean, it's too much for me, but
Yeah.
especially in middle school. But
Well, nowadays you could probably just, like, AI generate that,
it's
like, they
true,
probably have
but back
a
then that would be really cool
yeah.
if somebody called you and it was Ren. I can't do John Grievous, but Ren is not available. You know
Well, imagine they, like the person calling you's never seen Star Wars, and they're like,
that would
"What
be
the
crazy.
hell is going on here?"
But anyway, pretty fun, good one there. Here we go, number
Yeah.
two, and I'll give you the hint.
Okay.
It's on the sheet, but I'll give the audience hint too. These are all sci-fi movies, so it
Yes.
helps you out.
Oh, 2001, Space Odyssey.
Nice, good job.
Yes. Hell.
Right before, I didn't want to give you the
What
classic line, but yeah, it's very
yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, I could just tell by the voice, and it's
Mhm.
just one of my favorites too, so
Good
I would have
movie.
been disgusted at myself if I could not get that one.
That movie is so good and so bizarre at the same
Mhm.
time. Like,
I still can't believe it was made in, is it 68 or 69?
uh,
It's around that time. I can't I
69
still can't
sounds right.
it sounds yeah, I think it's around that time. I don't know how Kubrick made that,
68.
but 68, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely insane and really awesome. So many cool moments, especially the apes hitting the obelisk. That is bizarre. The giant baby.
Mhm, mhm.
If you haven't seen that movie, you got to watch it for the giant baby.
Y Yeah, you might not understand it, which is, I didn't understand it, or at least the ending, you don't really like what you're like, "What is going on here?" But there's a lots of different things that you can, pick up,
Have you
on
seen
multiple
the
levels.
second one?
Yes, 2011,
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
my
it
God.
is, or
Yeah.
is it yeah, I think it's 2011. I haven't seen it in a really long time, so I need to get that one a it definitely didn't like it as much as, the
Yeah.
first one,
I remember seeing that, and it was a long time ago also, but I was like, what have what did they do? Like why
but
you know?
mhm,
But
mhm.
anyway, here we go. Let's jump to the third one here.
Mhm.
Go, 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 go. 7 years per hour.
Interstellar.
It is Interstellar. That's the easy one right
Matthew
there.
McConaughey.
Got me. Matthew
Alright,
McConaughey.
alright.
All right, all right, all
Yeah.
right. I'm doing too much. It's because it's I got that Kentucky instead of Texas, but
Yeah. I don't I'm trying to think if he's been in any other sci-fi movies, Matthew McConaughey.
well, you
There's
you
none I
don't
can
see
think
a
of.
lot of that southern accent in sci-fi.
No. No, so which is like a cool, like cool kinda, like, twist to it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because he did like Dallas Buyers Club and
Mhm.
Wolf of Wall Street. That's probably his biggest three movies.
Yeah, and Dazed and Confused too,
Uh,
I'd
well,
say, yeah. Yeah, throw that in there. But, yeah, those are, like, the 4 I think of, and, yeah, I don't think he's in any other sci-fi movies, but, yeah, he killed it,
yeah, very good.
as we know.
Yeah, okay, this is the long one, so here we go.
Alright.
I wanted to give you a little extra because it's a tough one.
Okay.
Okay, so why I picked this one? I know before you even guess, there's like a whole bunch of little keys, and I know it's a tough one, but I was like, if you're thinking about like the individual pieces, it might help. But
S s I think the only scene I can think of, is it Alien?
no,
Okay, because it sounded like they, like, jumped into water right there, and I think there's a scene in, I think in the first Alien, I think probably in Aliens too, where, they're, like, in like, the ship with, like, all the pods and stuff, and
hmm
the face hugger comes out. I think that's in water, so I guess that was what I was kinda thinking of, but yeah, what movie is that one, I guess?
that is the Prestige, and
Oh!
that's when they've
Mm.
gone. He's looking for how does when Christian Bale's character do his trick.
Mhm.
So Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, goes to America to find Tesla, and he gets
Yep.
there, and Tesla's like, "Okay, I'll build you the machine," and he gets him, and it's all this lightning coming down. That's what, and he
Okay,
gets
so
his
I
hat,
thought that was the water.
he gets his
Okay,
hat
yeah,
down,
that makes sense, though.
and then the hat disappears, and it says rise, and and then it disappears. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's not like the pivotal moment in that movie, but it's a really cool like sound thing
yeah.
going on.
That might be Nolan's, most underrated
Absolutely,
film.
totally agree. I think we've
Yeah,
talked about it
I
before.
don't
It's definitely a movie overrated.
I watched it in I don't know why we watched it in school, like, one day, it was, like, the end of the year or something, we watched
Yeah,
it, and I was like, "This is awesome." I had never heard of it before that moment, that we watched it, but, yeah, that's another film I gotta give a rewatch 'cause,
great movie.
that has, like, so many cool twists in there, and the
Yeah,
ending too is just
The
awesome.
Prestige. I mean,
Mhm.
it's such a good
Prestige
movie.
worldwide.
Arguably, if you're out there and you're going, well, you said these were all sci-fi movies, and I'm like, you know what? The Prestige is a sci-fi movie. It's
Mhm.
arguably also like fantasy. Maybe you could say even historical fiction, but I'd say it's sci-fi.
Yeah, it kinda blends the line between, a few of those, so that I guess that's yeah, I guess, I never really considered it sci-fi, but, thinking of it, it does kind of,
Yeah.
lean in there for few of the moments.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great movie. Like I said, I think it's Nolan's best,
Mm,
in my opinion.
right.
I'm thinking about that a little bit. I'm making sure I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the Oppenheimer's awesome, obviously, but I don't know if I still haven't like. I know you said you watched it on your computer, but I haven't put Oppenheimer like on my TV. I've only ever seen it in the theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen I've only seen Oppenheimer in theaters too, I
Mm,
haven't watched it on my TV, and
okay.
that was awesome. theater experience, and I was able to see Interstellar in theater too when it, like, first came out. I know they kinda I think they just brought it back to theaters, and I didn't get tickets to go see it. I think it was because it was, like, the 10-year anniversary,
Oh, cool.
of it, and, I will say that, like, even though there's some parts in Interstellar that aren't, like, you know, that, like, if you're an astrophysicist, you're gonna be, like, looking at this movie, you're like,
What?
yeah, but I don't know, I just love the story, and, the visuals are so cool, and the soundtrack's awesome, so I might just say that's my personal fave, but, yeah, I love Oppenheimer, love The Prestige,
Is Michael Caine to be?
also the Batman movies.
Yeah. Is Michael Caine in all of the Nolan movies? Or he's got to be in
Well,
a bunch of them.
didn't he just retire? Didn't he just
I didn't
retire?
see that. That's sad.
I think I saw that he's, like, not gonna be in any more movies, but,
Well,
maybe
that's
with,
what.
the Odyssey,
Yeah.
he'll come back.
That there you go. Bring him back.
Mhm.
I
He's gonna
think
be the Cyclops.
that would be awesome. I am the Cyclops.
Yes, I need that.
I am Michael Caine, and I am the Cyclops. And he like gets like,
Oh,
do you
oh,
see the one eye? You know, like that kind of.
mhm. That fits pretty well, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Zendaya is gonna pull up, he's like, "What the"
yeah. Oh
I
man,
think I saw John Bernthal's gonna be in it too,
Rob Patton.
and, yeah, Rob Pat, Tom Holland, right?
Shh.
It's looking like a good cast.
What? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I can't do anybody else in that
Mhm.
cast, but
Mhm.
um, this is my Southern Tom Holland. Why? I don't know. I don't know why he's Southern in the movie, but well, I'm Odysseus. Anyway, let's
Uh,
jump to the last movie.
sure, sure. It's giving me either, Dune or Avatar vibes. I don't know why.
That's fair because it's kind of an alien language thing going on.
Yeah. I'll say Avatar, I
It's
guess.
Dune.
It's Dune!
Oh,
Is it Dune Part 2 or
it's
is it
Dune
Part
2.
1?
Bro,
Was it the fight scene?
it's
Was
the
it wa
scene
was it when they're
where
fighting?
good
Like,
old
in the black and white scene or whatever?
no no no
Or
no.
no?
It's
Okay.
Timmy Chimmy and he
Mhm.
is standing on a hill and he puts his dagger up and then he uses his
Oh,
thing to
yeah,
shoot the missiles.
that's
That's
iconic.
what's his name? Oh gosh, the guy that's
Uh,
Thanos.
oh, I know, Josh Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin goes fire,
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
missiles all launch their nukes at the Emperor.
See, I should have went with my gut because my first gut pick was Dune because it sounded like the Dune soundtrack in the
Yeah,
background. I was just like, no, I'm getting a little. I hear the like kind of the alien language, or it sounded like an alien language of like Avatar, but
yeah,
dang, I'm close on some of these guesses.
yeah.
That's well, what
This
was
is.
it?
I
Three.
mean,
I got 3 out of 5. Was it? I think.
yeah. I think we can say.
Or no, 2 out of 5 because I messed up the Star
Oh,
Wars.
yeah, we'll give you the Star Wars. The Star Wars.
All right, all right, all right.
Here we go.
I'll
Bravo.
I'll take it. Thank you. That was good. Those are good good picks. I like
Yeah,
it.
I like that game. Maybe we'll come back to it. It's a fun one.
Right.
Just to do random stuff. We don't always have to do
Yeah.
sci-fi, but I thought that was pretty fun.
No. Mhm.
All right. At this point, let's
Yes.
strap into our rocket, okay? And let's fly to space. Let's talk about what's going on. Um, we
Yes.
joked about it
Well,
last week. It was the
mhm.
same day before you even jump into your. I thought it was hilarious. Same day, uh, the New Glenn rocket does succeed to go to space. SpaceX explodes, and I was like, they did it on the
Yeah,
same day. That's just pretty tough. I know Glenn
you
wasn't
know,
scheduled for then, but that was funny.
right. Yeah, and Glenn was, so like, yeah, they were able to get in orbit, and then they had kind of had a far-reaching goal too to be able to, the first stage to come back and like land on the, I don't know, I can't remember what they had to like land, not land in the water, but land on like kind of like a reentry landing, which they weren't able to do, unfortunately. But that was kind of a goal. They were like, we don't even think this is going to happen, but it'd be cool if it did. So it was that was is surprising because Starship. Well, I can't remember how many times it failed to like get up into orbit before it like because it blew up a bunch of times.
Yeah.
They were making progress, uh, as that they were, trying to get into orbit. It wasn't like they just kept exploding in the same place. But yeah, it was cool to, see New Glenn, do it first try.
Yeah.
So
So did
yeah,
it broke up when it was re-entering orbit or
yeah. So it landed in the water. It didn't land on like the pad they wanted it to land on.
gotcha.
So it was still a successful launch. But I think that's probably going to be the next time they launch it, that's probably going to be the primary goal, is to, also they want to be able to get in orbit every time without blowing up,
Hmm.
but also do these other things that, will be nice to, make New Glenn very reusable because that's like the one appeal is like it's a lot larger, but you can also reuse it like 20 times or around there. So that just saves you so much time, and
Right.
you could do so many more launches if you're able to kind of make that a repeatable process. So yeah, and I'll say this. Lots of things have been going on with SpaceX's owner or CEO, whatever he is, Elon Musk. So I wasn't too upset with Starship blowing up. I was
Yeah.
like, that's probably some karma for some of the stuff going on. But
Yeah.
you know,
It
that's
is.
crazy.
I mean, Bezos, meh, right? Not
Also, not a very yeah, not
not
there's
our
levels to
favorite,
it, I guess.
but
No,
but
any of those guys are not going to be. They're just going to probably suck. So.
yeah. At
Um,
least the other guy, the Virgin guy, stays out of the news a little bit more.
Yeah, Virgin Galactic. Yeah. Well, I wonder when we're gonna get the Mr. Beast rocket. I think he's next in line.
Oh yeah, well, in controversy and in wealth, right?
Right. Right. Oh man, I'm sure that'll happen one day. Let's call it the new Beast instead of the new Glenn. So
It's so sad. But let's not talk about that. But
no,
um,
no,
exciting stuff
yeah,
though. Seeing the
yeah,
rocket succeed. I know that you said it's like a 15-year, 20-year thing, right? Plan that they want to do.
yeah. I know like they'll be helping out with Artemis for some of it, but then also probably some other, maybe lunar missions or other like Space Force missions. So yeah, hopefully it should be, be used for the next few decades, which, unless they come up with like a new version of it, that's even better, which I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it was actually supposed to launch back in 2020, but with all space things, it usually doesn't like happen until like 5 or
Right.
10, even 10 years after the initial launch date. So, but yeah, good for Blue Origin. And yeah, we'll be tapping in to see what comes from that. One thing that's a little scary, I learned today is that astronomers, they just discovered uh, a new asteroid, which is about like I don't know, 200 feet, I think in diameter, and there's a 1 in 83 chance of it hitting Earth in 2032, uh,
Mm,
which you know it's not like not even close to as large as the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, but 200 feet, I think that's gonna if that, like, actually hit Earth in a place that had people living, that could, like,
yeah.
do some serious, serious damage.
So I
Um,
know the calculations are like crazy and obviously still far away, but would we know where it's going to hit before it hit the Earth, or is it just impossible?
I think they would probably know that, like, closer till the day. I don't know if they know that exactly now, like, if it were to hit, where it would hit. I'm not sure if that's, um, like, the because there's so many like different factors that come into play when they like make those like orbit calculations. Um, but I think yeah, closer to like maybe say like 2027, they might have like 5 years out, they might have a better idea, but, luckily they've shown progress in the, that DART mission where they were able to blow up the asteroid. I don't know how large that asteroid
Well,
was,
yeah,
but
we're supposed to have the Space Force, for a reason, right? This is one of
yeah,
their jobs.
yeah, we got, not only are other countries our, enemies, we got flying rocks, coming crashing down, so,
Let's do a
uh,
super scientific test here. Pick
yes.
pick a number between 1 and 83.
1 in 83?
Yeah, they say that's what it is, right? 1 in 83 chance.
Yep.
Okay,
Tw
you pick your
27.
chance.
Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you,
No, no,
right?
okay, no, 27.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. Roll an 83 sided dice. Okay, hold on, she's thinking. Uh, Hold on, she actually rolled 83 dice.
Okay.
Let me try this again. Pick a number between 1 and 83. Okay, and she says 6. So I think we're good. We're
Okay.
safe.
I'm feeling good now. I was a little nervous before, but no, I think we'll be okay. I think as long as that dart thing can just at least knock it out of its trajectory, like, maybe that would be, at least a little helpful if it can't blow it up
Or
fully, but
or it hits it, it blows it up and makes a whole bunch of little ones, and then you get
yeah,
toasted.
we can send Starship at it, since that's already
Ooh.
not, keeps blowing up anyways. Why don't we just send that at it? It's gonna blow up regardless. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is a crazy thing. I have seen stuff about how asteroids will come over the Earth like all the time, and usually they're so
mhm.
small that it doesn't do anything. But you see the
Yeah.
videos of them. Like there was the one that went over Serbia or Russia a few years ago. That's like crazy video of it like going across the sky. It looks so scary. Like,
There, there's like a simulation where someone did like, what if like a pebble or like a penny, hit the Earth at like light speed, and it just like blew up the entire Earth, like, but that's just like, if that were to happen, like it would
well,
like dissipate in the
yeah,
atmosphere, kind of thing. But
yeah.
it's funny to like watch those videos. It's like,
And
oh, what if that happened?
there's a whole thing about how there's like space dust that comes down all the time, and like
Hmm.
every few seconds you're getting just covered in the space dust, and it's like
Hmm.
that's just part of the living on the planet. And it's like that is a crazy thing, but the fact
Yeah,
that
you don't
it's
even
that
know
really
it.
small.
Hmm. We're all spacemen and spacewomen,
Well, Earth is in space,
Yes, that's true.
so
But we got space coming down on us, so
yeah,
we're a part of it. So yeah, but I guess I feel like, I always see something every year about like, oh, this asteroid is, it's gonna hit us in like 15 years, or there's like some chance. And, I think this one though has like the highest chance that I've seen. It's usually like 1 in 1,000 chance or 1 in 10,000 chance it's gonna hit us. And like I see that, I'm like, okay, I think we're okay. But 1 in 83, that's a little scary. But we did our game, and we didn't get the right
yeah.
number, so
No,
we'll
so
be
we're
okay.
safe.
Yeah, we're good. I'll send an email to the astronomers and let them know that they don't gotta worry about it. They can,
Yeah,
just
and
let the
and
asteroid do its thing.
if it does come down, um, if movies have told us anything, it's going to hit New York. So
Mhm.
I don't live in New York, so
Yeah, right.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
they got, like, the Knicks there. Yeah. There's
the
lots of sports
the
teams I don't
Jets.
like
I
there.
mean, come on.
Yeah, the Jets. Well, Jets fans have already been through enough, so maybe it shouldn't
Yeah,
hit
maybe they
it
just
hit
need
it
to
shouldn't hit there.
put out of their
Put out
misery.
their misery. Yeah. We're just joking. Just kidding. But, well, maybe not. But, yeah, like you said, I feel like it's gonna hit in either New York or LA. It's always those
Yeah,
2. Like, there's like
it's
that, maybe it's not an asteroid, it's actually, aliens coming, and they're gonna land. I think that was, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Battle for Los
oh
Angeles.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that was, like, the plot. It was like there's an asteroid, but they're, like, actually, like, little spaceships,
yeah. That'd
and,
be sick. That would be sick.
yeah, hopefully most likely they're not friendly, but,
Well,
we got aliens then,
yeah.
We just gotta beat them.
I'm about it. I'll be like, whatever. It's cool. We're doing
Yeah.
stuff on this planet that is already, ruining it anyway. So
Yeah, right. Yeah,
why not?
you can take it, you know.
Add a little spice.
Yeah, we're going to Mars anyway, so you
Yeah.
guys, this is all you. Have our water and resources or
Or they're
whatever
maybe
you're coming here for.
it's the space balls. They're coming over to suck the air out. They just want
Mm.
the our air.
Well, good thing our air has terrible quality, so,
Exactly. It's fine.
jokes on them.
It's fine.
Yeah, wrong planet to go to. So,
Um, I wanted to ask because there's in the news right now a lot of stuff about like AI and
mm.
especially because like the China's AI called Deepseek. I don't know if you've seen any of that or like you guys are talking about it at
No, no, not really. Haven't I don't know if I've yeah, not with, like, my coworkers or
yeah.
I don't think I've seen too much about it, I guess, but I guess, like, what's the purpose
Well,
of DeepSeek?
so it's ChatGPT, but it's open source and made by China, and they made it with like instead of billions of dollars, they made it with 6 million, and so like
Mm,
basically the whole idea is that it's way more efficient because it like does things in modules instead of where ChatGPT trained their model like all like one model with like all of the knowledge. They're like
mhm,
training pieces and then feeding those into like
mm,
the piece. And so like if you ask it something, it'll like, oh, I need to use this piece of my brain and then go through there instead of having to
mm,
scan everything, which makes it more efficient and use less power.
yeah. That kinda works, like, as a brain does too, I feel
Yeah.
like, because you got these different pieces in your brain that, have different functions,
Yeah.
and it's not just one whole thing, trying to process all these different things at one time.
Yeah, and it's as like a tech thing, I think it's pretty cool. It's like
Yeah,
supposedly like slightly faster than ChatGPT's version, which they spent way more money developing.
mhm,
The kind of why it's such big news thing is that it's basically like proof that we're overspending on chips here, and so I think this was like the biggest one of the biggest market crashes we've seen in a long time. Nvidia lost like
mm,
more than it has in 30 years, like that kind of
wow,
huge financial crash
mhm,
yesterday. And it's
wow.
like stuff will probably be okay, but yeah, pretty scary. Especially we want Nvidia to do well in Columbus because they're supposedly going to build a factory here.
Really? Yeah, I use NVIDIA for a good amount of my work right now, so
Yeah,
hopefully it's, they don't take too much of a hit, but, maybe we can, kinda come into a agreement, where, we, we'll keep TikTok, but they gotta, like, kinda hand the keys over to DeepSeek, and let NVIDIA kinda incorporate that into,
well, it's the whole thing because we stopped selling our chips to China.
Mhm,
And so basically, it's they've gone, oh, well, we don't need your chips. We can do it anyway. And that's the
yeah.
big like, oh, you know,
Is that with the is that because of the new tariff, or is that just
I think
something
we've had
entirely
that.
different?
It's been
We've
like
had it? Okay.
yeah, a chips act for a
Mm,
while that's blocked them from
mm.
buying it. But yeah, it's a little bit weird. Yeah, and then obviously TikTok stuff. I think that I just saw that or read that Trump was trying to get Microsoft to buy it, and
Really?
and then Microsoft they asked Microsoft, which Microsoft might be not telling the truth, but they said Microsoft, are you interested in buying it? And they said we know nothing about that. So
I feel like they do, but I feel
yeah,
like they have no interest at all.
probably not. But
Mr. Beast had interest, we get Mr. Beast to
oh my
buy
god,
TikTok,
what are you doing?
yeah.
Alex is a Mr. Beast like fanboy over here.
Yeah, right. Hey, I'm just, I'm trying to see someone make some moves, and spice things up a little bit, so, yeah.
No,
Uh,
yeah. If Microsoft buys TikTok, that would be crazy, and
mhm,
you know, but would be par for the course. That would be normal. I feel like for
yeah,
our
yeah.
world.
Well, right now you can't, for TikTok, unless you can't download it on the App Store right now, like,
Mm,
it's only if you have it downloaded to your phone, you can use it, or you had it before
right.
the initial ban on it. So there's some people selling their phones that have it on there for, like, thousands of dollars, like, I'm like,
That's
first
not
off,
true. That is not true.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. There's people selling it for I'm like, "Who's buying this?" And sadly, there probably are people that are buying these phones. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep.
I don't understand. Sometimes I'm blown away. You know what's cheaper than selling your phone for $1,000? Fly to Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lots of things.
yeah. I mean,
I'd
that's
rather
that's
I'd I'd
incredible.
I'd rather buy a phone with a Flappy Bird on it for $1,000
I would rather
than TikTok.
I'd pay, not thousands, but I would pay $50 to remove TikTok permanently from my life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, if
just
someone paid me to do that, I'd be like, "Sure, you can, I could swap it with you for 50,
oh
that's
my
easy."
God. I
I guess I guess I don't understand it because everything just gets reposted at Instagram Reels anyways, so you could just find all your TikTok content on Instagram Reels most likely. There's the TikTok shop, which I know a lot of people will, like, make a lot of money off of, but I
what
don't
is that?
know.
What does that mean?
You can, like, sell things off TikTok, like,
Oh,
merch and a
yeah. I
bunch
think
of
Instagram has that
other,
too,
like,
right?
yeah, like, you saw, like, people were selling, yeah, I think, yeah, Instagram has a shop too, so, yeah, exactly, like, I don't really see there's
Yeah,
other ways of,
but we're
going about,
old,
getting
so
your content. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
we wouldn't get it.
we wouldn't get it. But you know what
No.
is crazy? I did see when the ban first happened, or when it was about to happen, people were like, it was like a huge spike in people learning Chinese on Duolingo because there
Yes,
was
because 'cause they're
like
gonna get the Chinese, social media app,
red
or
red.
yeah, read something, and,
Oh my God.
it's just crazy. People were just it was pretty fun. I didn't do it, of course, but I just saw people talking about it. I'm like,
I'm having suspicions now. You're a Mr. Beast fanboy and you're learning
"Hmm."
Chinese in the background.
I I learn Chinese would be kinda cool. That's one thing. I know it's hard, but it would be kinda cool.
But for the
Actually,
purpose of you saying,
I'd rather learn Japanese, though, so I can just, like, watch anime, like, without the dub, and feel really cool. No, that's not cool, but yeah,
that would be cool.
but yeah. I don't have time to learn a language, though. I feel like that's
I think that would
too
be
much work.
a good thing to do. I'm like, yeah, it'd be so cool to speak, more languages, and I could easily just go to a class, and do that. And I was like, but I don't
Mhm.
have time, and I don't have
Yeah.
the energy. But
Yeah, cause yeah, it'd be cool to just, like, you go on a trip and you don't have to,
yeah,
like, pull up Google Translate and be like, "Oh, what is this?" You just do it fluently, but yeah, that's why a lot of people, you learn languages younger, it's a lot easier.
yeah. Although most of the places that I've been that don't like English isn't their national language, uh, most places I feel like in the world you can get around without speaking it
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
put enough effort in. So it's
Mhm.
usually okay. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, crazy stuff going on with the AI,
Mhm.
with the TikTok ban. Hopefully it doesn't affect the rockets because I know they have a bunch of chips going up too. So
Ooh, yeah, that's a good
uh,
point, yeah. Hopefully, yeah, they might, I don't know if they can make their own chips, but I don't
yeah,
know if they probably prefer that, but yeah, I'm sure it's a lot more expensive to, produce those
I
'cause,
mean, yeah, like
labor costs are so much more, in America.
and I mean the materials to build it with. Remember we had that's why we
Yeah,
had a shortage a couple years ago.
yeah,
Like SpaceX can't just go, I'm gonna make my own chips, and then like, not all the companies can do that. It just
nope,
wouldn't be good for the price thing. But
mhm,
somebody probably could, and maybe they're gonna buy foreign chips.
yeah, just resell 'em.
And I mean, who knows? Because we might lose the CHIPS Act entirely, where that's what's been giving Nvidia extra money to build new factories, which that'll hurt things also.
Yeah, that might push us backwards in tech if that becomes, like, such an issue. Because like, it's like since the 2000s, it's been pretty much every year, it's been getting better and better and better, tech-wise, and, you run into this issue, hopefully it's not something that, like,
Yeah,
just, for a whole decade, it's like an issue.
there was like I remember waking up when I was like little. Might have been like 12 or around that age. Might have been younger. I don't really remember, but
Mhm.
my parents were reading the newspaper, and my dad was like, "We just hit the blah blah blah," and it was like this law where if we made the computer chips smaller, it would make the computers faster, and then eventually, like at some point in our childhood, we reached that point where like it wouldn't make it any faster. I
No,
forget what that
no.
that whole. I'm gonna have to Google that. What would that be
Well,
called?
it's it's wild how tiny some of these chips
Yeah,
can get. You need to use like a microscope to like if you're working on it. And then like even at work, I've seen some of these chips, and I'm like, I don't know how the electrical engineers are, are able to like handle
yeah.
these precisely.
Well, it's you just have the computer do everything, right? Where it's laser,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of it is like automated
it's
when you're
called
like building a
Moore's
board.
law, which
Moore's law.
yeah, which implies that the computers, machines that run on computers, and computing power all become smaller, faster, and cheaper with time as processes become more efficient. So and smaller. So there you go.
Hmm.
That I mean, yeah, crazy that we passed that, but that was at some point
Yeah,
in our childhood. Hold on. I should look up what year.
yeah. It gets to yeah, it definitely gets to a threshold because you can only make something so compact before you run out of space to
Yeah,
to fit everything.
it was. King came out with it in '65. Maybe I'm making up that it ended, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know. At some point, I think that was the thing that it ended, but that also could have
I'll
been
take your word for it.
in my brain that was a dream, and I just dreamed of
Yeah,
Moore's law.
Moore's
Who
law.
knows?
We'll call it Ren's law. Ren's law.
Yeah,
That's a
Ren's.
better that has a better ring to it.
That's right. And I'm taking a wave with me to Mars. We're gonna escape
Yeah,
the
yeah, yes.
182, 183.
S- Sorry, Moore. It's Ren's now.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe it's Roger. You know,
See Moore's law. That's kind of funny because it's like the opposite of more. It's less. Less is
yeah,
more.
that no, that is
Yeah,
funny. It's not spelled
yeah.
the same way, but that is funny.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
is like Moore.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, really funny. If it was kind of a situation of what's oh gosh, nominative determinism. You know, one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
things, which is like your name is something, and you do that job, and like somebody, you could be like Alex Engineer, like that kind of thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and everyone's like, well, how did you decide to do this job?
Yep.
Like our my dentist is Doctor Gum.
Dr. Gum.
Yeah,
That's great.
and I was like,
That's great.
no, I was like, literally when I decided, I Googled it. It's like dentist in Columbus, and it all came up. I was like, well, I have to go to Doctor Gum, you know,
Yeah, there's
like,
no way.
and I was like, I can't say anything while I'm there because I'm sure she's heard it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
everyone in her life has said, "Oh, a dentist, huh? Doctor Gum." You know, like that kind of thing. But I was like,
Well,
it's too good.
I wonder though if that's her, like, her maiden name or say, like, she's married and she married
Mm,
someone with the last name Gum.
she did
I
it
mean,
after. That would be interesting if
yeah,
she
yeah.
like sought after the gum for
Yeah,
the
she's like,
gum market.
I need to find Mr. Gum and marry him.
Yeah, that's something
Get
that
all the
I'll
clientele.
ask. I need to ask that next time I go in.
Yeah.
Hey, is that your maiden name? It's come off weird, I think.
No, probably. Yeah, I don't I don't know how you asked that question. It's just like, "You always been named Gum? Is that your real name?"
Hmm. Yeah, I
Hmm.
love that idea that of people with non-determinism names. It's always so fun. There's so many like
Yeah.
you can look it up like a list and yeah, and you read through like you know, weird connections. But anyway, I think that we can wrap up there if that's good with you.
Sure. Yeah, that's cool with me, man.
Let's you should if you listen to this, you should listen to all of the rest of our stuff, which
Yes.
is Gravity Blues Pod on Instagram,
Yes.
Gravity Blues Podcast on YouTube, and I have those in the description of this episode.
Right. Is it, the same on, Spotify too, or Gravity Blues Podcast?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
cool,
And on
cool.
the podcast app
Yes, on your phone,
everywhere that
so
matters. You know,
Mhm,
those four
mhm.
places. I think that's everything.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. And yeah, I think next week we'll be talking a little bit more about the Super Bowl coming up, and kind of things that come with that. The festivities of that, commercials.
it just made me think of
Halftime
because
show.
I think there's like a whole thing we're not allowed to see Super Bowl or like this, but it doesn't matter. We're going to.
We are. Yeah,
But
we're breaking the rules.
we one of our bands that we love, King Gizzard. They have a song called Superbug. It's like Superbug. So I think that if they should do the Super Bowl intro, and it could
They
just
should
be
just do
like
the halftime show next year. Like,
Super
come on.
Bowl in my blood. It's the intro, and everyone like, what the hell? But yeah,
They do every genre. They could appeal to, all the different,
yeah,
people that complain about the Super Bowl halftime show not being, for them, so
yeah. If Kendrick doesn't bring them out, I'm gonna be upset.
right. That
Kendrick's
would be
really
a
good.
crazy collab. Yeah, come on. They could lay down a nasty beat for you.
Who is he bringing somebody? Like a singer.
Oh, yeah, he is. Is it SZA? It
It
might be
might be
SZA.
SZA.
Yeah, because he has, like, 2 songs on
Sounds right.
the new album with SZA, so
I might have to give the
yeah.
new album a listen. I haven't listened to it yet, but it might be
Mm.
this next week so that I can
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it'll be a good amount of that, and then, yeah, some of his
his
older
diss
stuff.
track.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Drake is gonna show up.
Oh, that would be sweet if he brings Drake
Yeah.
out and they both do their diss tracks together.
That would be I'm gonna say it may probably less of a chance there's probably more of a chance of the asteroid hitting Earth, but I guess we'll see.
No, but how sick would it be? He brings them out and everyone's like, "Oh my god, who would have thought?"
They made up.
And then they sing in unison both songs, okay, together.
They were like, "We got you. This was all a ploy
Yeah,
this whole time to make us
we
more money."
actually we produce each other's song, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
We wrote each other's lyrics.
yeah, dang."
You're like, "How did they know all this stuff about each other?"
Well, there
That's
we go.
why.
That's
Yeah.
now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've cracked it.
I think we did. Hey, you heard it here first on Gravity's Blues Pod.
Yeah, special
We break all
guest.
the secret info.
Alrighty, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining me. Thank the audience for joining us, and
yeah,
cheers to you guys.
yeah.
Peace.
Cheers, everyone.